8 legendary 90s muscle cars you never knew about. The 90s were a wild time for muscle cars. While the golden era had passed, some hidden muscle cars were still packed with serious power and attitude. In this video, we'll take a ride through the legendary 90s muscle cars you may have never heard of. These underrated beasts brought back big horsepower, aggressive styling, and raw performance, but many slipped under the radar. From forgotten factory sleepers to overlooked high-performance machines, we're diving into the muscle car underdogs of the decade. Get ready to rediscover the hidden ones that kept the muscle car spirit alive in the 90s when watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Muscle Car Masters for more. 1993. Camaro Z28. When it comes to muscle cars, the 93 to 02 Chevy Camaro SS Z28 is a real standout. This fourth-gen beast stayed true to its roots while adding some modern flair. Under the hood, it packed a 5.7-liter LS1 V8 engine, cranking out 305 horsepower in the Z28 and up to 325 horsepower in the SS model. This power translated to impressive performance, with the SS model capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds. But it wasn't just about speed. The Camaro's aggressive styling, low-slung body, and bold stance made it a head-turner. Distinctive features like the forced air induction hood on the SS model not only enhanced performance, but also added to its mean look. Driving the Camaro SS Z28 was pure excitement. Its precise handling and raw power made every drive a thrill. However, it did come with some trade-offs. The firm ride was typical for a sports car, and fuel economy wasn't its strong suit. But for many, these were small prices to pay for the performance and style it offered. Even though production ended in 2002, the Camaro SS Z28 remains a symbol of American muscle, cherished by enthusiasts and collectors alike. 1993. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. The Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, especially the fourth-generation models produced from 93 to 02, made a lasting impression in the muscle car world. With its bold design, impressive performance, and unique features, it became a legend in its own right. The fourth-generation Firebird shared its mechanical foundation with the Chevrolet Camaro, but added its own distinctive flair. The design was stylish, aggressive, and unmistakably Pontiac, making it stand out on the road. Under the hood, the base Trans Am was equipped with a 5.7-liter V8 engine that delivered 275 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. While these numbers might not seem impressive by today's standards, they provided a thrilling driving experience at the time. Paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission, the car could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 6 seconds and reach a top speed of 152 miles per hour. In 1996, Pontiac reintroduced the WS6 package, which transformed the Trans Am into a true beast on wheels. The WS6 came with a modified version of the LT1 engine, featuring ram air technology that used a dual-nostril hood to force air into the intake, resulting in a boost to 305 horsepower and 335 pound-feet of torque. In 1998, Pontiac took things further by introducing the LS1 V8 engine from the Corvette, an all-aluminum marvel that increased the WS6's power to an impressive 320 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. Drivers could choose between a 6-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission, with power delivered to the rear wheels through performance-focused axles. The WS6 also featured 17-inch high-polished rims wrapped in Goodyear Eagle F1 tires, ensuring it looked just as aggressive as it performed. Inside, the Firebird focused on function over luxury. While the cabin didn't boast high-end materials, It offered everything needed for an enjoyable drive, including air conditioning, leather seats, and a powerful monsoon sound system. Conveniences like power windows, remote keyless entry, and optional traction control were also part of the package. The iconic T-tops added a sense of open-air freedom that drivers loved. Practicality wasn't entirely ignored either. The coupe's fold-down rear seat and hatchback design allowed for surprising cargo space, making it more versatile than most muscle cars. 1991 Ford Thunderbird. The Ford Thunderbird had been a head-turner since the 50s, and by the 10th generation, from 89 to 97, it blended modern design with classic appeal. This version featured a sleek, aerodynamic body, shorter than before but with a longer wheelbase, giving it a balanced, refined look. Under the hood, the Thunderbird packed a 281 cubic inch with a 4.6-liter V8, delivering 205 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed automatic and rear-wheel drive, it hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 8 seconds and reached a top speed of 144 miles per hour. While not as aggressive as some muscle car rivals, it focused more on comfort and style. One of its standout features was its 4-wheel independent suspension, a rarity among North American rear-wheel drive cars at the time, shared only with models like the Corvette. This setup provided smooth handling and an excellent ride, making it a comfortable cruiser. Inside, the Thunderbird was spacious and designed for relaxed driving. It wasn't the sportiest option compared to the Camaro, and its fuel efficiency wasn't great, but it offered a unique blend of comfort and performance. While its NASCAR-inspired styling turned heads, it was more of a grand tourer than a street racer. For those wanting a stylish, comfortable ride with a touch of racing pedigree, the 10th Gen Thunderbird delivered a unique driving experience. 1994 Ford Mustang GT. While the GT models were hogging the limelight, Ford gave the Mustang a fresh makeover with the SN 95 generation, running from 94 to 04. They kept the Mustang's classic vibe but added some modern flair. Under the hood, the GT model packed a 5.0-liter V8 engine, pushing out 215 horsepower and 285 pound-feet of torque. It wasn't the most powerful engine out there, but thanks to its low-end torque, this pony was quick off the line and a blast to drive. Drivers could choose between a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission, both sending power to the rear wheels, sticking to that traditional muscle car setup. The GT could hit 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds and topped out, around 136 miles per hour. Ford built this Mustang on an updated Fox platform, making the suspension stiffer for better handling without losing that raw, sporty feel fans loved. The larger 16-inch wheels and a 308 rear axle ratio gave the GT a confident stance and a performance edge. Design-wise, Ford took cues from the classics, but gave them a modern twist, ditching the old notchback and hatchback styles for a sleek two-door coupe that looked both aggressive and refined. This bold move paid off, earning the 94 Mustang GT the Motor Trend Car of the Year award. Interestingly, Ford had toyed with the idea of making the Mustang front-wheel drive, but after fans protested, they kept the rear-wheel drive V8 tradition alive. This decision helped them sell over 1.5 million units during this generation. 1995 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Z34. In the mid-90s, Chevy revived the Monte Carlo name with a fresh take, a sleek front-wheel drive coupe instead of the classic rear-wheel drive V8 setup. While some purists missed the old formula, the 5th Gen Monte Carlo ZT4 still offered a fun, stylish ride. Powering the Z34 was a 3.4-liter V6 engine producing 215 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission. It could hit 0 to 60 in about 8.1 seconds, with a top speed of 144 miles per hour. Its lightweight design and aerodynamic shape made it easy to handle, even if it lacked the brute force of earlier Monte Carlos. The Z34's modern, streamlined body featured smooth lines, drawing some inspiration from the Chevy Lumina, but maintaining its own identity. Standard features included air conditioning, power windows, locks, mirrors, cruise control, keyless entry, and a theft deterrent system. A sport-tuned suspension and anti-lock brakes boosted performance appeal. Inside, the Z34 had a driver-focused cabin with a floor-mounted shifter and user-friendly controls. The wraparound dash gave it a sporty feel, though some details, like the stereo's volume knob, were less refined. On the road, the Z34 handled well for a front-wheel drive car. Torque steer was noticeable under hard acceleration, but it felt nimble in corners, with predictable understeer at the limit. While not a track star, it struck a solid balance between comfort and sportiness, making it a fun option for those seeking a stylish, spirited coupe. 1996 Chevrolet Impala SS. The mid-90s Chevrolet Impala SS was the kind of car that didn't need flashy stripes or wild styling to make a statement. Produced from 1994 to 1996, this seventh-generation Impala was essentially a high-performance version of the Caprice, but with a sleek, no-nonsense look that made it a true sleeper. Painted exclusively in black, it had a menacing presence, subtle but unmistakably tough. It wasn't trying to show off, but if you knew, you knew. Pop the hood, and you'd find a 348 cubic inch LT1 V8, the same engine that powered the Corvette, cranking out 260 horsepower and a strong 330 pound-feet of torque. Mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission, this full-size sedan sent all its power to the rear wheels, launching from 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds and topping out at 154 miles per hour. For a big, comfy cruiser, those numbers were seriously impressive. What made the Impala SS special wasn't just raw power. It was the perfect mix of muscle and daily drivability. It borrowed heavy-duty components from the Caprice police package, including a sport-tuned suspension, stiffer shocks, and upgraded cooling, giving it surprisingly sharp handling for its size. Sure, it was a big car, but it felt planted on the road and had a solid, confident ride. With only 69,168 units produced over 3 years, the Impala SS became an instant classic. 1993 Lincoln Mark VIII. The Lincoln Mark VIII, built from 1993 to 1998, wasn't your typical muscle car, but it had the guts to surprise people. Think of it as a luxury cruiser with a performance streak. It looked sleek, rode smooth, and had enough muscle under the hood to turn a few heads. Based on the same platform as the Ford Thunderbird, the Mark VIII was Lincoln's way of blending class with power, and it did a solid job of standing apart from the crowd. Under the hood, you'd find a 4.6-liter DOHC 32-valve V8, pushing out 290 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. This wasn't just any V8. It was one of Ford's early modular engines, later found in Mustangs and Cobras. Paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission, it could sprint from 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds and a top speed of 151 miles per hour. Not bad for a luxury coupe, right? But the Mark VIII wasn't just about straight-line speed. It had a rear-wheel drive setup and an independent suspension system on all 4 corners, something rare for American cars at the time. Its air suspension automatically lowered the ride height at high speeds for better aerodynamics, giving it a surprisingly sporty feel. Inside, the Mark VIII was all about comfort, leather seats, power everything, a premium sound system, and even a power moonroof. It had muscle car roots but came dressed in a tuxedo, proving you could have speed and style in one package. 1996, Ford Taurus SHO. The last car we want to talk about on this list is the Ford Taurus SHO, a late 90s sedan that was more than just a family car. This model had a bit of muscle under the hood, thanks to its powerful engine. Ford teamed up with Yamaha to develop a 3.4 L207 cubic inch V8 engine that produced 235 horsepower and 230 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission, the Taurus SHO could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 7.7 seconds and reach a top speed of 144 miles per hour. Entering its third generation, the Taurus received a complete redesign, moving away from its boxy shape to a more aerodynamic, sleek look. This not only gave the car a modern appearance, but also improved its overall performance. Unlike traditional rear-wheel drive muscle cars, the SHO featured front-wheel drive, delivering a unique driving experience. Despite its size, the car handled surprisingly well, thanks to a well-tuned suspension system that kept it agile on the road. Inside, Ford focused on comfort and convenience. The dashboard was redesigned for a more user-friendly layout, integrating radio and climate controls in an intuitive way. The cabin featured comfortable bucket seats in the front, and the center console had a clever flip-fold function, transforming into additional storage when needed. The 90s may not have been the peak of the muscle car era, but these hidden muscle cars proved that American performance was still alive and kicking. From high-powered sleepers to underrated V8 beasts, these 90s muscle cars kept the spirit of raw horsepower alive. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love muscle cars as much as we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Muscle Car Masters for more legendary rides and forgotten classics. See you in the next video.